of the tape. We talk about Russell staying in the pocket and fighting aggressively. In fact, he has no choice because his reach is so short, he has to stay in close just in order to be in range to hit his opponent. And as was the case in our first fight, we have California rules, no standing eight, no 3 knockdowns. Ref or doctor can stop the fight. You can be saved in the bell by the bell only in the final round. And if there's an accidental foul that brings a stoppage after start of round 4, we go to the cards before that technical draw.
So round 1, and we're going to see in a hurry what Christopher Perez brings to this dance. Because he's in there against a guy who he has not seen anyone like that in terms of quickness.
Perez has been in with either 1 or 2 southpaws in the past, depending on who you listen to.
If you listen to him, he said 2.
Amateur experience, when are 150 fights not 150 fights? Well, in the case of Russell, of course, he was a U.S. national amateur champ, made the Olympic team, didn't fight. Barry will get into that a little later. And as far as Hernandez is concerned, well, excuse me, Perez is concerned, he was on the national team of Mexico, but not much international experience.
And the point that you made about Gary Russell is that he likes to stay in the pocket. That was a reasonably good counter right hand from Christopher Perez when he did try to step in. Nice right hand. Came behind a double left jab. Hand speed is something you can't teach. You either have it or you don't.
Well, he was born with it.
Good left hand rather by Russell. That was a counter punch.
Yeah, exactly right, because he did get hit by a left hook. Well, this fight going technically and strategically as we thought it would, with Russell, the shorter guy, trying to make the fight, cut the distance down, and Perez trying to box more.
Yeah, and you made the point earlier, you're talking about him staying in the pocket, which he does, but there's a very good reason for it.
60, I think it was 61, maybe 62-inch reach, or 63 and a half. Whatever, he's got short arms.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Again, a double left hand. Left to the body, left to the head. His combination punching is very, very good.
Right. It was interesting, wasn't it, Barry, when Russell was talking to us about putting his full weight into his punches.
Took a left hand from Perez there.
Yeah, he wants all 126 pounds behind every punch. And he studies the mechanics of punching to try to manage that.
Yeah, he seems to be a great student of the game. When he was a kid, he used to watch the greatest knockouts, and he talks about guys we were talking about, asking him about who he grew up admiring, and he mentioned Ray Robinson. I said, "You mean Ray Leonard?" He said, "No, Ray Robinson." And all of that said, not a bad first round for Perez either. I don't think he won it, but he was competitive.
Yeah, he landed a couple, 2 or 3 really good shots.
Let's get him. Okay, look. Lunge a little bit, a little too tight. You ain't getting off on the bottom of your hook because you're not committing with your grip. Okay? You got to double the jab. You hear me? Move behind the jab, the double stick.
Well, we had a chance to talk to Gary Russell Jr. about his strategy for this fight against Perez. Here's what he had to say.
He's used to actually fighting shorter opponents, guys that's going to pursue the action. He's used to fighting backwards. So we want to kind of take him out of his comfort zone. We're not going to take the initiative as far as pursue him. We're going to post in the middle of the ring. We're going to make him have to exchange with us. We don't feel as though he has my punching ability or my speed to actually sit in the middle of the ring and go blow for blow.
With that, we come to round 2. Gary Russell Jr. with the fringe on his green trunks, and Christopher Perez with the silver sparkles on his. Nice combination again by Russell. Led with the right hand, came with the left, got a little off balance there.
I found that quote Very interesting from Russell in between rounds. And I think he's kind of fighting that fight. He's staying in the pocket, moving forward, but not necessarily initiating the action.
And on the other hand, Perez looking to counterpunch, but Russell's not giving him a lot.
Well, to counterpunch effectively, of course, you have to know where the punch is coming from. That's not easy to do against Gary Russell.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to do when you only throw one punch. And Russell hardly ever throws just one punch. Christopher Perez not really cut from the same cloth as a lot of Mexican fighters, and particularly fighters from Culiacan. More of a tactical fighter. As his trainer said, a technical boxer.
He does not remind you of Julio Cesar Chavez.
Does not.
Well, Perez's style here is really forcing Russell to throw very few punches. In the first round, Russell threw only 38. Not much of an output. But Perez, with his body type, tall guy, kind of skinny arms, he's not going to be an infighter like Chavez was. He's going to be an outside fighter. Tough to be faster, tougher to have better timing than Gary Russell. That's his problem right now, Perez.
Well, we've talked offense. Oh, nice right hand by Russ, first by Perez, and then Russell back with a combination that drops Perez.
6, 7, 8. ¿Está bien?
He's still a little wobbly, I think. I'm not sure his legs are all the way back yet.
Gary Russell is a natural lefty, but it was his right hand that produced that knockdown.
Another big right hand on top of the head.
Did you see that expression from Perez?
I did. It's frozen. And another left hand, and Perez in trouble again, back on his bike. Okay, Russell is a heavy-handed hitter. You can hear it in your ear.
You're right, and when you factor in the hand speed, it's pretty scary what he can do.
Top of the bell.
Look at the body here against Perez. Perez does seem to be back now at the end of the second round.
Let those hands go. Let those hands go.
Turn around.
Come on, good.
Hijo, ¿por qué no tiras? Esa es mi pregunta.
Action from round two. It was a 10-8 round for Gary Russell. Here's why. Just like Barry said, it was a counter combination, left hand, right hook, that put the Mexican on his butt. Here it is again. Watch Perez lead. A decent right hand by Perez, but nothing like what came back.
Round three, mouthpiece.
And I'll tell you, Barry, if Perez doesn't land something
Jerry,
meaningful
mouthpiece.
really soon,
Thank you, boss.
he's just going to get steamrolled.
Yeah.
Box.
It's going to make Russell a lot braver. We talked about the fact that, and both of us, and I'm sure a lot of observers, would like to see Russell take that next step up.
And the reason we do is because he has this incredible natural ability.
And a left hand knocks Perez through the ropes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come here. You all right? Okay, you're going to have to show me something. Box.
That was just a left hand that knocked it down. Just that simple. And there's a right to the body and a left to the head again. And a combination drops him once more.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come here. You okay? One more shot and we're out. Box.
Long way to go. 2 minutes remaining here in the third round.
Fly out.
Perez's corner right next to it, they were thinking about telling their man to stay down.
Well, he is clearly outclassed here. He tried, I got to say that. Russell doing nothing to dissuade the talk that he may be the best prospect in any division, let alone a featherweight division.
Yeah. Well, you can see why he might score some one-punch knockouts, because his hand speed is so incredible. People don't see the punches coming, and those are the ones that hurt you.
Now, and there's a right hand that drops him again. That's it. It's over. So just like that,
Doc, come on up.
it is over. And
Just stay right here.
I guess what's to prove is
Bring me a
that
stool.
Russell does have some pop. He remains undefeated. He's done nothing to change anybody's opinion, but that he's not an outstanding prospect. But it's time for him to step up.
Yeah, Perez just didn't have anything to give him, and had Russell one of the best refs in the game. It wasn't that Perez was that hurt by that last knockout. He easily could have let the fight go on, but he knew there was no point.
And he told him after the second knockdown, one more and it's over. Too much Gary Russell Jr. is basically the bottom line here.
But you want to see him tested, Barry. You have to want to see him tested because he's so good.
And what he does do, it doesn't matter against the guys he's fighting. He does have a tendency to drop his hands defensively, and I want to see him get hit and see what happens.
Well, we were talking off camera before. The last thing you want to see Gary Russell do is develop any bad habits because he's winning so easily. And he does have focus, I'll say that. But he's talking about moving up. Maybe, I would think by the end of the year, he will be a legitimate top 10 featherweight.
I hope so, because he is a very impressive young guy. Here are the numbers on show stats.
1 for 48 jabs from Perez. And the power shots he landed, 3 or 4 of those were in the first round. They had no effect whatsoever on Russell. Russell landing 55% of his power shots. They come fast, they come in bunches.
They come furious. So this one, simply no contest, as Gary Russell Jr. 3 knockdowns in the third round, and that was it. And he had a knockdown in the second round, too. So 4 knockdowns in a very short space of time. And Gary Russell Jr. beating an outman Christopher Perez and running his record now to 20-0. So a very nice win for him, but again, you want to see him move up, and he remains exactly as he was before this fight, and that is very, very bright prospect.
Nothing to change our minds about that. And hey, we need a young American star in this game, and this is as good a prospect as anybody.
No question about it. Once more, we'll take it to the center of the ring. Jake Gutierrez, and we'll make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Pat Russell starts this contest at 1 minute 41 seconds of round number 3. The winner by knockout victory, he is still undefeated, Mr. Gary